The What a Stranger Told Me podcast.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Stranger things have happened.
Microphone. Confidence.
Don't talk to strangers.
All right,
Let's do this.
Excuse me, buddy. I'm from a podcast called What a Stranger Told Me, and I just wander the streets talking to strangers. You got 10 minutes?
Oh, I guess so.
Oh, you're a good man.
Yeah.
My name's Tim.
Tim, Alex.
Lovely to meet you, Alec.
You too, mate.
What are you reading?
A bit of Plato.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't read anything really since high school, so diving into the big stuff.
You'd start with the big stuff and work your way back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can watch movies, you can play video games for a narrative. Not much sort of philosophical content in that realm.
What was the need that made you want to pick up Plato?
Oh, well, I just went around the city, actually. I tried to go to a few small bookshops and sort of used bookshops and everything. They'd been cleared out. So I found myself in Dimmicks and just sort of picked the names that I recognised as big names, and no real focus on any particular school, but just a broad range of opinions.
What have you learned so far?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not very far into Plato. He's talking about justice and injustice and the merits of each, and whether one's better than the other, whether one makes you happier or not, and they're kind of going around in circles a bit. We haven't really come to a conclusion yet.
Oh, we're early days.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something you're hoping to get? I mean, it's funny, like I know the word Plato.
Yeah.
I don't really know much more about what he stands for. But
Neither do I,
is there
honestly.
something you're just diving in?
Just diving in with an open mind.
Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a pretty bad spot negatively. Kind of had a big blow up, and I thought something had to change. So starting to read again, trying to be a bit more involved in life in general, and so far so good.
Yeah. How long ago are we talking? Was the black spot?
3 weeks, I guess.
Oh man, it's early days.
Yeah. Well, I was in a job that I'd been in for a long time, and I sort of didn't realise how miserable it had sort of made me, and basically I had a bad night at work. I work in the restaurant industry. I had a bad night at work, and one of my managers, basically I was really beating myself up about this mistake I'd made, and she sort of enlightened me to the fact that I've got a tendency for self-harming in a way, not necessarily like cutting yourself or, something I had done in the past, but in terms of making yourself feel bad and not seeing a sense of self-worth. So I went, yeah, shit, you're kind of right about that. And at that point, I realised I needed to leave that job. I needed to start looking after myself better. Probably see a therapist, which is something I have started doing as well. And basically, I think a week after that, something bad happened to me in my personal life. I let it really affect me, and I did have that big blow up. And that was really like, okay, cool, something has to change. It has to change now. This is going to be sort of my phoenix burning, and we're just going to leave that in the past and grow from there. And so, yeah, I don't know. Here I am reading.
Chatting on a podcast.
There was another book I read, which is a really great read, called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And it's sort of written in the format of poetry. And he's got a chapter on each sort of... He's got a chapter on a different aspect of your life, one of which is houses, funnily enough. And he sort of lauds the merit of just getting out of the house every day. And so it's something I'm trying to do, rather than sitting in my room and reading, come down here.
You're inclined to stay inside and, wallow in your misery as
a little bit,
yeah.
Well, not a little bit, like quite a lot of it, actually. And I just thought back to... Yeah, when I was a kid and I didn't have these worldly troubles of being an adult, and getting out of the house is nice, and you do feel better. When you're a kid, you get forced to go to school every day, and that develops a healthier life, I guess. So,
have you developed a greater self-belief?
Oh, it's only been 3 weeks yet. Only been 3 weeks so far. I think I'm on the right path.
Yeah. In your face. I mean, I don't know you, but from all intents and purposes, you look like a very well, healthy, together guy, which probably is an unfair thing to say, because all of us humans, good
days and bad days.
Good days and bad days. That's right.
Yeah.
But you found the strength to pull yourself out and do something about it, which I think is really impressive.
Oh, look, it was a good time coming. I'm 25 now. I've probably had my struggles with mental health since about 15 or 16. And a lot of the time you kind of tell yourself, yeah, I'm fine, yeah, I'm all right. I have all of these metrics from the outside looking in that say I'm doing great and say I'm having a lovely time and a great life. But then you get to those dark places and you go, shit, that's all a facade. That's all not necessarily true. And so I think, came to the conclusion I've got to live life for myself for a little while and just get to a better position internally before I can worry about anything externally.
What does 12 months ahead look like for you? Is that too far?
Could be.
Call it 12 days if you want to.
I'm just really hoping I don't slip back to where I was at. So it's just at the moment, moving forward every day.
Do you have a sense of what could trigger that decline so that you can be aware of it and avoid it?
Yeah, I think at the moment I'm wary of working a bit too much. I'm just trying to work as much as I can to pay the bills. I'm also trying to see my grandparents back in Toowoomba, who
Beautiful.
are getting a bit old. Long story short, I'd worked my way up to being assistant manager at this old restaurant, and I realised I was just giving more of myself away than I realistically had. So took the step back after the whole explosion of everything, changed to a different restaurant we have in the group, and making an effort to just get out of the house, go to Toowoomba every 2 weeks and see the olds, read as much as I can, get a decent night's sleep, not drink every night when I get home from work. I suppose in 12 months, and I'm playing rugby again as well, which I did play last year. But
you are ticking so many boxes. I think you should be writing books, not reading them.
Oh, mate, we'll see about that. I think I'll fix my fundamentals first. I don't want to fall into that trap of thinking that I'm all right and not actually being all right, because that's sort of building a house on sand, and then when the flood comes, it washes away.
Tell me, what's just changing tact a little bit, what would be the ultimate job or career for you?
Oh, who knows if that even exists. I mean, I love the restaurant industry.
What do you love about it?
Human interaction. I quite like fine dining as well, because there's a lot of knowledge about a lot of interconnected things. You know, your produce, your cooking, your wine, your cocktails, how you speak to people. And hospitality is a very under-rewarded financially, I guess, industry. So just finding a way that I can to make as much money out of it, travel the world.
As a guest of of an establishment, whether it be fine dining or cheap eats, can you recall an experience that's really left you either dumbfounded or completely amazed?
Yeah, well, dumbfounded in a negative sense, I can, and in a positive sense as well. I mean, everyone's had a negative experience somewhere, and you've gone, "What the hell are you guys doing?" So probably don't need to cover that. But look, there was actually a time. Would have been about a week and a half ago. I caught up with a mate at this little bakery cafe in Red Hill, and just no one came out to greet you. Or I came to the counter, no one greeted you. I'm 2 feet in front of you. You're working at the coffee machine. There wasn't a simple, "Hello, mate. I'll be with you in 2 seconds. I'm busy right now."
Is it the fact that they're not trained, they're not paid enough?
Well, I
don't want to be there.
I think that's probably a big one. A lot of people don't choose to be in hospitality, but they find themselves there, and then in a situation like that, you naturally resent it. So I don't know if they're maybe jaded about the whole thing, if they. But I got the vibe very much that she might have been an owner, because if you're doing that job that badly, why the hell are you getting paid by someone?
Tell me, what are you scared of?
That's a big one. I think previously I used to be scared of my own success, which is why I limited myself and was very inward. And now I suppose I'm fearing going back to the old mindset more than anything. So I guess fear of your own nature, if you want to sum it up, whether that be good or bad.
If you were successful,
well, that's the thing with
about that?
Many definitions, I guess. I don't know. Like I do have anxiety disorder, and that's quite a common thing, to have anxiety of failure, or that your best effort might not be enough. Maybe that's the crux of the fear. It's that your best might not be enough, but then you also have to think, who gets to define enough?
Very cool.
Ultimately, that comes back to yourself. So,
okay, so scared of success. What are you most looking forward to?
Getting well, for one, and it just feels like life's opened back up again. Awesome. After I've been in such a bad spot, letting it crash and burn, and then coming back out of it. I'm excited. I feel more empowered to travel, to do things more spontaneously. But again, that's kind of tempered with the little fear in the back of your head of what if it all slips and goes away. So just keep fighting.
That anxiety disorder you speak of, and many of my listeners would probably be in touch with that.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to you? And when it does creep upon you, what do you do about it?
Well, up until about 3 weeks ago, I probably would have drunk myself into a stupor, or I used to smoke a lot of cannabis to calm my nerves, but quite often that makes you even more anxious. And I think my response to that anxiety was self-harm in some form or another. It's a sense of constantly worrying. You're fearful of yourself and your capabilities, if they're going to be enough, or I don't really know how to put it. It's
a very personal.
It's a very personal
feeling.
It manifests in different ways for a lot of different people.
So when you do feel it either creep upon you or land very loudly, and uninvited, what's your first step?
Oh, at the moment it's to kind of just take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Like, also being conscious of your own thoughts, being able to go, all right, cool, I am just being anxious right now. There's nothing objectively wrong, so just take a step. Doesn't matter what direction, just take a step somewhere. Do something, get out of the house, go to work, try and put even if you're not feeling it, put a bright face on, just keep soldiering on. Because if you just stop and you wallow, then the anxiety wins and it takes over, and then you lose the battle of life.
Yes.
So
yes,
you just got to keep walking.
It's wonderful that we can have these conversations. I'm much older than you. I'm 57, 58, and I reflect on growing up with my parents or even siblings and being able to mention words like anxiety, depression, any of these mental illnesses, and yet here I am sitting with a fellow who, what are you, 25?
25, yeah.
And it rolls off the tongue. I think it's beautiful.
I just don't think there's any point in hiding it. I suppose you grew up in a different environment, but to me it's always been, you can't walk on a broken leg. You've got to take that to the doctor. So if mentally you're debilitated every day by something, what's the point in bottling that up? It's not going to help you. And it's something that I used to do. I used to suffer in silence. And every time you talk about it, you do feel better in some sense. Sometimes I used to feel shame about it. And then the guilt as well. And then the more that you get to know people and the more you get to know that it happens at some point to everyone, I don't know, it's not necessarily comfortable, but it's just, why hide it? It's real,
100%.
And I've always said that about myself, because I think I'm a bit of a strange character.
Why?
But I only know how to be myself, so...
What do you define as strange, and what's strange about you?
Well, here I am on my own reading Plato as a 25-year-old down by the river.
What's right? What's wrong?
Well, exactly, but I think previously the old me would have thought it's wrong and wouldn't have come down here, even if it was something that I wanted to do, out of fear of judgment or whatever.
Interesting. As an interviewer, I listen obviously to people, and I try to listen as hard as I can. And part of that listening is listening to the words they use. So to me, here I am sitting in front of a 25-year-old fellow who's getting his shit together and thinks he's strange, I wonder whether we as individuals should be more cognizant of the words we use. Someone once said to me, they said, if you said to someone else what you said to yourself inside your head, you'd be in jail.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that's something I'll unpack with my psychologist, because I'm by no means fixed or have the answers, as I said.
Will you ever be? Will we ever be?
Well, that's the human condition, isn't it? Human struggle. It's a good question.
Better ask Plato.
I better ask him. Yeah. And I mean, I've been reading this other guy, Albert Camus, who's in the absurdist sort of school of thought. And I won't say that I really understand what he's saying, because the last thing I read was his big essay called The Myth of Sisyphus, and builds on a lot of philosophical thought that's come before, stuff that I haven't had the chance to read yet. But the sort of the crux of what I think he was saying is, all right, so the absurdists think that the world is ultimately meaningless and chaotic and irrational, and humans are rational in their way of thinking. And Camus' sort of point, as I understand, is that the meaning of life is to acknowledge that you're rational and acknowledge that the world is chaotic and meaningless. And in that point of meeting, that struggle, hold that every day, keep fighting, keep going forward. Even if it means nothing, your nobility is the fact that you march on.
Well, I'm going to leave it to you to get back to Plato. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
For someone 3 weeks into a rebuild, I can just honestly say you look well. I've enjoyed your conversation, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thanks.
Man.
I'm glad you
Love
didn't
it.
meet me 3 weeks ago.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm not. It would have been an interesting conversation, but I'm glad for you that it's working out.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Thanks for listening, and don't be a stranger.
If you've got a story you'd love the world to hear, then call us on 0489 272 286.
Also, if you'd like us to chat to strangers in your town, or maybe you've got a conference you'd like a podcast from,
Then contact us at WhatAStrangerToldMe.com.
What a Stranger Told Me is made by Tim Reid and Jon Coghill.
Music supervision by Dennis Folletto.
Photography by Andy McCall and Will Reid.
See ya.